Hey, welcome to Let's Make Miracles.
I'm Alex, and
I'm Jen.
we're working through the Course in Miracles over the course of an entire year.
Yeah.
Welcome back.
Welcome. All right, lesson 28. Above all else, I want to see things differently. You wanna?
Oh, okay.
Thank you.
Lesson 28. Above all else, I want to see things differently. Today we are really giving specific application to the idea for yesterday. In these practice periods, you will be making a series of definite commitments. The question of whether you will keep them in the future is not our concern here. If you are willing at least to make them now, you have started on the way to keeping them, and we are still at the beginning. You may wonder why it is important to say, for example, above all else, I want to see this table differently. In itself, it is not important at all. Yet, what is by itself? And what does in itself mean? You see a lot of separate things about you, which really means you're not seeing at all. You either see or not. When you have seen one thing differently, you will see all things differently. The light you will see in any one of them is the same light you will see in all of them. When you say, above all else, I want to see this table differently, you are making a commitment to withdraw your preconceived ideas about the table and open your mind to what it is and what it is for. You are not defining it in past terms. You are asking what it is rather than telling it what it is. You are not binding its meaning to your tiny experience of tables, nor are you limiting its purpose to your little personal thoughts. You will not question what you have already defined, and the purpose of these exercises is to ask questions and receive the answers. In saying, above all else, I want to see this table differently, you are committing yourself to seeing. It is not an exclusive commitment. It is a commitment that applies to the table just as much as to anything else, neither more nor less. You could, in fact, gain vision from just that table, if you would withdraw all your ideas from it and look upon it with a completely open mind. It has something to show you, something beautiful and clean and of infinite value, full of happiness and hope. Hidden under all your ideas about it is its real purpose, the purpose it shares with all the universe. In using the table as a subject for applying the idea for today, you are therefore really asking to see the purpose of the universe. You will be making the same requests of each subject that you use in the practice periods, and you are making a commitment to each of them to let its purpose be revealed to you, instead of placing your own judgment upon it. We will have 6 2-minute practice periods today, in which the idea for the day is stated first, and then applied to whatever you see about you. Not only should the subjects be chosen randomly, but each one should be accorded equal sincerity as to today's idea is applied to it, in an attempt to acknowledge the equal value of them all in their contribution to your seeing. As usual, the applications should include the name of the subjects your eyes happen to light on, and you should rest your eyes on it while saying, above all else, I want to see this blank differently. Each application should be made quite slowly and as thoughtfully as possible. There is no hurry.
Above all else, I want to see this phone differently. Above all else, I want to see that stool differently. Above all else, I want to see that fan differently. Above all else, I want to see this light differently. Sometimes I like to pause, because I get little epiphanies every now and then.
Okay.
I was just explaining why I was pausing.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah. I think it's really good to want to see things differently.
Yeah.
It helps you get out of any stubbornness that you may already have.
Yeah.
And it's helpful, definitely, to look at things differently, to gain other perspectives.
Sorry.
I feel like this past year, spiritually for me, I have really been looking at things differently than how I normally do, or I try to see more than one particular way of looking about things. I guess I could go into detail about.
If you want.
So about a year ago, I left what I thought would be my spiritual community. I didn't really leave it. I just departed working, basically in there almost. It wasn't quite full time, but it was like 30 plus hours.
You were there every day.
I was there every day. So I was there almost full time. And I departed. I pretty much felt guided to leave. And I've been the type of person that's like, okay, if Spirit wants me to do this, I guess I'll do this. And the connection that I got from Spirit just gained even more. I became closer to it by separating from my spiritual tribe just for a little while. And that was really hard on me because I love all my spiritual brothers and sisters and mother and father, and I don't know but why I keep going into different names, but whatever. And at first, so I went back to what I would consider my old job. It'd be like an old food retail job. And it almost felt like I was taking a step back. Like I was going against where I should be going because I had worked there before and I returned. And things just felt different. I stepped down from being like a manager to being an average like worker. And it bothered me for the longest time because I felt like I was going against everything that I had worked for. And it wasn't until I stopped to look at things differently and to see, okay, what does Spirit actually have in store for me? What is Spirit trying to teach me about this? Instead of, why is this happening to me? And why do I feel this way? And, going against those pre-ingrained thought patterns, seeing things differently and going, okay, what does Spirit have in store for me? What is Spirit trying to tell me? And Spirit was basically saying, hey, like, we're going to work on you right now. We're going to heal you. And it may look like you're going backwards, but this is a pause. And we're going to work on the connection. We're going to, work on having you see things differently, feel things differently. So then when you unpause, basically, you'll be even stronger. This may seem really confusing to you because you don't really know what I'm talking about, I guess. But Alex knows. He's been beside me the whole time. And he's seen my ups and downs and my struggles with trying to make sense of the whole switch. So my unpause is I've gone back to my spiritual community. I've left that food retail job. And I'm furthering my healing career. And things just feel really good. Like, listen to Spirit. See things from Spirit's point of view if you can. Or just know that Spirit has something in store for you. And things will work out.
What would you say caused you to go from thinking that you were taking a step back to seeing it differently?
I'm not quite sure. I think it's just shutting up that little persistent, like, chatter in my brain.
But when did it start?
When did it start?
Yeah. When did the change start? I mean,
it started maybe a couple of months after. I don't really remember when it started.
Not
When-
at the funeral?
Which one? I've been to several within the past year. Are you talking about the one last
Catholic
summer?
Church.
Oh, the Catholic Church. That's when I noticed a big shift. I had been very hesitant about major religions And
I think hesitant might be an understatement.
Maybe. I'd been very hesitant. I had a problem with the word God for the longest time. And so last year we went into this beautiful, beautiful Catholic church. And I had been Catholic. Like, when I was growing up, we were Catholic. Mm-hmm. And so there's a familiarity there, and a lot of the Catholic habits, I guess, came back to me. But just... Rituals, yes. The Catholic rituals came back to me. It sounds so witchy. That's really funny.
That's what rituals are, just things that are repeated with significance. What?
I know. I'm just still thinking it sounds very witchy to me. But anyways, a lot of the Catholic rituals came back, and the energy in that place just felt so amazing. And I remember, like, walking around with them in there, and, like, this energy of spirit was there. And, like, if I stopped, like, I started to cry. And I'm like, I don't understand why I'm crying in this church. And I was just very, very emotional, very, like, releasing. And I remember going up to the father, the priest, and, like, wanting to shake his hand to meet him, and there was, like, nothing behind it. I was like, okay. Well, it's not a particular person that I have to follow then. And I just remember just wanting to sit in that church for a really long time and, like, just look at everything. The architecture of that place was amazing too. They designed it very well, where you can feel spirit and not even have to have that big connection. Because at that time, I had already left my spiritual community. So I was really missing that spiritual connection, which I thought that only the community and I would have. Like, I would have from the community. But that's not true. You can have it with just yourself and spirit. And, boy, did spirit let me know that I didn't need anybody else. Because we started singing some of the hymns and...
Hymns.
Some of the hymns. I was spelling it in my head first, and then it went hymns. I was like, no. Some of the hymns, and, like, just the energy was very overwhelming. It was very, like, loving, and I tend to cry when Divine's energy is upon me. I think it's just so beautiful. It's just something that I do. Now that I'm done rambling on, thank you for listening. We'll see you back for lesson 29.
Thanks for listening. If you have any questions, feel free to contact us on our Facebook group, Let's Meet Miracles, or on our Instagram pages at Zenfully Ever After and Heart Lotus Guru.
If you could give us a review in iTunes or Stitcher or wherever you listen to podcasts, that would really help us be more visible to more people.
Thanks.